You were busy gambling in a game.
Yes, not real money.
Now I have to ask
Fortunately.
which game.
It's called Tower Unite. I actually saw it through a friend, and interesting. Virtual, a virtual world that they're slowly building. It's still in early access, but they already have quite a few mini games in there.
Huh.
So it's worth keeping an eye out.
Well, we're live. Again.
We are live. Hello,
I like
world.
I like springing that on you every time.
Yes.
Especially
I've
Sepp
seen
is.
that on the VODs too.
Yeah.
I noticed it. Like I was like, oh, I hear Torm twice. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
I can do
everywhere.
that with my internet.
Let's open the
We
stream.
usually have Sepp's bald head always in perfect view as a little egg in the corner while he's
Am I in
studying
the corner now?
his micro penis.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous. I don't have the microscope. That backfired on you, didn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but
No.
sure. I suppose that'll work.
It does.
Very
every time.
confused currently. It's a very confusing time for me.
Aren't we
Um,
all?
Post banter roll. There you go. Now I can do this.
Do you remember what happened last session?
We killed the dragon.
I don't remember that.
Me neither, but I tried to. Maybe I will get XP for that.
Actually, that was the session before, and it was a pseudo dragon.
Oh yes, we
Yes.
did. Right? See, we did kill a dragon.
There was also pissing
I
on
did.
bars.
Yeah.
I
I'm
killed
still working on
the
that, by
dragon.
the way.
We also killed a wizard, a lady wizard, an illusionist.
Yes.
Yep.
Can I get experience for that?
Well, I would give you experience for that unless we except that we are working under the milestone XP system, so
Well, that's a problem. That's okay. Next time everyone else reaches a milestone, I'll just be one milestone ahead.
it's not that sizable of a gap.
What would that achievement be?
Well,
Leap
killing
plus 10.
killing a wizard.
Technically, it's friendly fire, so
Not really. It's not very friendly when it's on you.
Well, I mean, I probably killed like 10,000 spiders in that room as well. Just tiny ones. 1 experience each.
Yeah,
I don't know.
even
It'll
0.5.
add up. Why did I click that?
I don't know. You're weird.
you have to count them in swarms. So
Draconic. Why do you speak
did not-
Draconic? Who are you planning to speak with?
Is dragon.
Yeah.
dragons
Oh, okay.
But then,
or kobolds. Either or.
well, I mean, we can exchange banter in Draconic, but the really good banter is going to be telepathic, so you guys won't even be able to understand.
You know, not like I actually understand.
Well, if you're going to all go about showing off your languages, where's my character?
What else would we do? Meanwhile, Shump is
Good
in the
play.
corner.
Yes, he's always in the corner. I don't know why he's in the corner.
I have Copecious and they require maintenance.
You have what? Right?
My Copecious requires maintenance, Quelenna.
Oh, precious. I heard compassions.
Oh, I have compassion for
Well,
them.
that too. So, last session you finally found your way out of the damn dungeon I sent you into. Or, I'm sorry, Crambo sent you into. After
Enjoyed it.
After 5 sessions, was it?
Well, it's all
if-
because of some
if we're counting
some
the outside of the
people in
watchtower
here-
as
If we
well,
count the outside, then yeah. If
Yeah.
we count just the inside, I think it was 3.
so
3.5.
Remember, me and Ops had actually shortened that duration quite a lot while ago when we kicked Quelenna out of the portal.
yes,
It could have been a long stay.
it could have been
I
very long.
wanted to keep exploring. What's wrong with that?
Well, let's just say I think Theo has a roadmap designed, and we're off the rails.
I don't go
no,
according
no,
to
I-
raids.
I
I don't
had
know
a-
what raids are.
I had a backup plan for all of you if you went back in, but
We escaped that backup plan with its skittering 8 legs and giant mandibles.
The backup plan
Yes.
was an inescapable pit that only had one exit that led to the outside, anyways.
No, it was a dragon. A pseudo dragon
Yeah. A giant pseudo dragon.
that breathes fire. So where are we now?
so you got out of the watchtower and headed back to Nightstone after being accosted by some nasty hyena-faced creatures at the
And
river
right.
crossing.
Well, that illusion almost helped us.
And a hellhound thing, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it helped
and-
attract them.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was my purpose. I wanted to attract them.
I mean the gnolls found it very attractive.
I see, and I knew it. And now they are all about mating.
Unfortunately, it disappeared as soon as a javelin was thrown at it. So,
Aw.
oh well. But you
Oh, well.
managed to cross over the river safely and also set shit on fire again on your way across.
I think it's a signature. You know, when you go somewhere, you want to leave a mark on the place.
I think the requirements is at least 3 or 4 enemies.
Across all the parties that I have ever DM'd for or taken part in, I would say that fire is usually the uniting thing.
Oh, so you say we should do something more unique? All right.
I would prefer
I have an idea.
unique over. But I mean, you have already almost wrecked the guard captain of Nightstone with your gnomes, so
Well, that was their problem. I mean, what do they have against gnomes that they try to kick them? I'm trying to solve here a deeper issue of hatred towards the species.
of racism towards gnomes.
Yes. Kicking them? They just said hi. All right, so
Look,
let's advance.
Gnome kicking is a very respectable sport in some some circles.
Someplace.
Well, most of higher societies.
Yeah.
How rude.
It's very popular among royalty.
Or as it's more commonly known, gnome punting.
Gnome hunting.
Punting.
Punting.
Now that we have returned, though, the question is, we should probably head to Crambo and ask him what he really knows.
I have to say that name is very confusing me because there's also a food that is named after that, and every time you say that name, I keep thinking of that food, and it's a delicious chocolate.
Good.
Well,
I
that's good for your character then.
I mean, Crambo is a very soft and chocolatey kind of person.
Yeah, I noticed. He sends us to harm's way to try and kill us.
Yes.
Very soft.
That is a very chocolate thing to do. So you return to Nightstone. It is you arrive before the afternoon, I believe, since I think you took a long rest before you left,
Yep.
if I remember correctly. So you traveled through the morning hours and arrive around noon at Nightstone. The gates are open for you, and you cross over the wooden bridge.
Is there a guard?
There are guards on the towers.
Okay, so when I cross, while I am in the middle, I will create a minor illusion of a gnome right in the middle of that watchtower, and keep going.
Okay. You you
Nothing,
you
you're consistent.
They will learn.
Yeah.
No racism.
you hear one of the guards turn to the other and just go, I feel like there's a pattern forming here. We were gnome free for a whole couple of days here now.
And then they return. Gnomes spawn out of thin air.
Oh shit! It's the smart guard.
Yes, it's the one that tried to stop me from reaching the persona.
It's not like those from Elder Scrolls.
That stop running after you after a while. That's just okay. I need to go back.
Wait, I shouldn't be running this far. I've left the stove on.
As you arrive back in Nightstone, you notice that the people have been very busy over the time that you were away. Some of the boulders have been already cleared out.
How?
You can see like this massive, yeah, you can see this massive rig of wood and ropes leading to a pair of oxen used, probably taken from some of the farmland towards the south to aid in dragging these boulders out of town.
So they didn't conjure some kind of dung beetle to do it for it.
No.
They should have.
That would have been better.
I agree, that would have been better, but these are very simple folk trying to make a living out in the middle of nowhere. So
Well, I mean, they got free stones, so that's something.
yes.
I offer the first person I see heading our way a tiny bone, and say, "This is from our quest. This was once a mighty foe," and hand it to whoever is in front of me.
The first person that you come across is one of the children.
Yeah. A legend just spawned this time.
This kid is a little halfling child, probably no older than 3. He looks at you wide-eyed as you say that this is from your quest, and then reaches up to take the bone from you.
I hand it over and do a prestidigitation to make it warm.
He touches it and holds it in both little hands and goes and stands there staring at the bone.
Yeah. I look at Champ and they say, "We are that much closer to a statue."
I've already made arrangements, Quelenna.
Could I give this kid a little scimitar? I have 2 of them, and I don't need both.
Sure.
I think a dagger would be a better option.
I mean, sure, if you want to.
Full-size scimitar.
I'm out shouting Quelenna, so I'm giving him one of my scimitars.
Okay, so immediately as you offer this scimitar to this little child, the bone drops to the ground, and he goes and reaches for the scimitar.
So I take
As
up
a
the bone
passive.
and I do a prestidigitation of small flares coming up from the bone.
As I pass him, I just say,
Stay in school. Workshop.
and just carry on my way.
Okay.
I'll still do small flares from the small bone on the floor and then keep going.
Okay. Good. You hear this giggling of a child from behind you as you keep going, and then the heavy thud of a scimitar landing on the ground as it slips from the kid's grasp. And then you hear this.
Poor kid. say to Shub, we did a good deed today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
If you glance behind you, you see the kid like trying to lift the scimitar back off the ground, but being unable to, and he's like he's like crying, his eyes out, water streaming down, and he like reaches for the handle of the scimitar and pulls, and instead of the scimitar coming up, the kid goes down and he smacks his head on the ground next to the scimitar.
Poor guy. He will learn. He will learn.
That's your average jump water.
I mean, the kid is roughly the size of the scimitar's blade. So
He'll get a hand of it.
Once he gets a hand on this, he will be able to do anything in his life.
yeah,
Tidlig kört om god kniv ska bli.
Give the kid a week, he'll be able to lift the scimitar fine and swing it around. He'll be killing gnomes and everything.
yeah. Like 20 years from now, you come across this halfling warrior barbarian that's just rippled with muscles.
He's been training.
Super ripped, but just a scimitar.
Yep.
Just one scimitar. And he stumbles across Shump again and gets him to sign it.
On the way to the building where Crambo and the rest is, I would be keeping my eyes open for a brazier.
Sure.
I would like to keep my eyes open for a jeweler.
A jeweler.
Yes.
Well, from your previous stay at the
Maybe someone
at the
moved in.
town.
Come on. I know there wasn't one.
And there's no jeweler in town. However, you do notice that a small caravan has arrived. Well, I say small, it is actually small. It's like one half-sized like carriage.
Does it look like a
it
trading caravan?
It looks like a very rickety little, basically a hot dog stand, except that it's been put on wheels, and there is a very muscular-looking boar pulling it, or at this point it is like grazing on grass nearby, and
I will do like
ooh,
and run off the group towards that thing.
The shutters are open, and there is this completely bald dwarf standing inside with a fiery red beard and no shirt, and like this tattoo of a phoenix on his chest.
I'm just and just run off to him, even though the group is like walking, and I'm like, I see this, and I'm like, woo.
Yeah. Do the rest of you pause or keep going down to the keep?
Keep going to the keep.
Yeah, to the keep.
Keep to the keep.
Yes, Kothar has business to attend to, so he wants to get his whole talking part over with.
Okay. So you are walking south along the main road. You notice from afar that the bridge has been pretty much completely reconstructed with wood where it was broken. It's a little bit of a rickety construction, but it's now the complete width of the bridge. And meanwhile, Quelenna, you get to this little carriage, and the dwarf inside just stares at you. He's like completely unflinching. He doesn't blink. He just stares at you.
How is he dressed? Or weaponized? Or
from what you see, he has no weapons. He's without a shirt. He has like that whole 80s macho look with like just a fur on his chest, and that's naturally grown. It kind of like mixes and tangles with his beard.
All right.
And-
As I see him, I go like, ooh, and go and hug him.
He is inside, but you can reach in for him
I will
if you'd
just
like.
run towards him then.
Okay.
And I will kind of, you know how in movies they go all swooning like someone strong is. So this my character like kind of wee just goes in.
he
Let's see where that
he
is.
remains staring at you, unblinking, and then goes, huh, and reaches behind him for something, and then places a red a glass bottle containing a deep red and orange liquid onto the little like windowsill outside. And he
Towards me or
and he
towards the other side.
towards you, and he
Okay.
points to a little wooden sign that's been painted to say liquor, 5 gold.
I look at the potion and do the prestidigitation to warm it up,
Sure.
and then I
you-
touch it and I say,
the-
"But it's hot. We'll drink that."
The bottle says the bottle has a very old looking dusty label, and it has dwarven writing on it, and
Yep.
below that in a curved lettering in common it says Burning Soul Liquor, and it has a dating marked 1299 DR.
All right. I will just I will still do my prestidigitation to warm it up, and then I will say, "Who will drink that? It's warm."
He looks at you like you're completely insane, and then goes, "It's supposed to be warm."
I blink at him. Warm alcohol.
Yeah.
I do blinking quickly towards him, and then say, "What else do you have?
This.
What about the boar? Is he for sale?"
No.
Well, I would like to buy the boar then.
No.
Hmm.
This.
You're not
And
very
he
talkative, are
pushes
you?
the bottle towards you.
Thank you. And I take it.
He points to the sign saying 5 gold.
I push back the bottle and I say, "Well, you can pay me then."
You see him like move away from the window, and the whole like structure creaks and wiggles on top of the wheels, and then the back door like is thrown open, and this like dwarf that's about a full head height lower than any other dwarf you've ever seen jumps out and walks up to you around the front, and tries and take the bottle from you.
I actually put it back down. But okay.
So-
If you really want to try that,
So
I will.
yeah, so he like stands right next to you, and then looks at you, and then hops over and barely grabs the bottle from the windowsill, and then marches back all the way around
I
until
will
he's
walk
inside.
after him. Just like I would just follow him. Like if I'm not aware that I'm not supposed to go in.
Sure. He slams the door shut right in front of your face.
How rude. 1 second.
It's
Yeah.
a dwarf.
I have something to do with him. I will try to open the door if I can with my hand first of all.
Yeah, it opens. It's not locked.
All right. I go in and is there a seat?
So the room inside is like barely big enough for this dwarf.
Is there a seat though? Or
No.
a table? Matter yet.
No, there's just like this one wooden box with more of these bottles that have the same kind of liquid inside.
I look at him and say, "Spacey, isn't it?"
Yeah.
So what's inside these thingies?
Liquor.
Is it? It looks awfully weird colored for liquor.
Liquor.
So how much do you sell one of them for a friend?
He points to the sign that's now like outside from, but he still points in the direction.
I look at the sign kind of like if I don't know what it says, and I say it's kind of not showing this way, but I'll pay you
problem.
2. I'll pay you 2 gold.
No.
It's really direct, this guy. Okay, so I'll do a minor illusion of a gnome right behind him, and
Okay.
he will say hello. And I will use Trump's voice.
Well, that'll confuse him. So, and there's a hello from right behind him. He turns and looks at the gnome and shrugs and then turns back to you.
He's ignoring my no. Well, at least I know he's not racist. All right, so I'll take a bottle and give him 2 gold.
He refuses to take your gold. No. And points to the sign outside.
I say, but it's a good offer.
No. Bad
How
offer.
about if I take all the bottles?
No.
No what? What's the price? What's a no?
1 per customer.
No. Okay. Okay, I'll give him the 3 other gold, and I say you can keep the gnome.
Okay.
1 second, do I just to check that I actually have the gold?
Yes, please.
1 second. Where's the gold here in this sheet? I'm always confused.
Bottom center.
Somewhere. Bottom center. Where?
All the way at the bottom with the carrying capacity and stuff.
Carrying capacity. Oh, there. No, that's not the gold. Oh, that's a gold. There we are. Gold. Oh, I actually have only 3 gold. Oh. Well, I will leave him 3 gold.
Okay.
And I say that includes the gnome.
No.
It's very rude.
He points again to the sign outside.
I do prestidigitation upon the sign to say 3.5.
Okay.
And I point towards the sign and say fine. But that's what is written.
He looks towards the sign, but neither of you can actually see what's written on it. It's still pointed outside. He then looks to you and says, "No."
I tell him, come see. It's written 3.5 outside.
No.
It does.
He stares
Come on.
at you blankly.
I stare back at him. I go back to the group in the meanwhile, while we stare at each other.
Sure. So you start this staring contest with the strange merchant monk
Yes.
person, dwarf.
Someone will break.
And meanwhile, the rest of you have very safely gotten all the way to the keep. The gates have been opened for you, and Crambo walks directly out the door and throws his arms out, welcoming you back. He goes, "Ha, my friends! You have returned. You have lost your fourth. My deepest apologies. Condolences."
Yes, it was very hard for us, but you know, what you gonna do?
You fetched a very high price at those orcs, though.
Ah. Ha.
Not high enough.
You have recovered the box, I assume?
I'll nod to Roherthan.
I'll reach in my pack and pull out just the box.
Okay.
Shump will kind of stop if Roherthan is just giving the box to him. He will kind of just lay his hands on his wrists and just look at him and say,
I believe there was some agreement about a certain statue that was going to be raised of us in town square.
Oh, yes. As soon as we get the town cleared up first, and
Very well.
and he just lets go of Roherthan's wrists.
sure. I've lost
Well-
Crambo's voice completely. Oh well.
I'll continue pulling out the box and just hold it and be like, this would be the box you were looking for, I'm guessing.
He nods and walks down the steep incline of the steps to meet you out in the courtyard. He looks at the box and then nods quietly again. Yes, this is it.
There's also the
what-
tome.
Tome? You did find a tome in there.
Yes, I'm curious to see if you happen to have the key
Huh.
to either or both.
Interesting. What else was in there?
Definitely not a blue fancy hat, that's for sure.
No, I can attest to that. He's telling the truth.
Just a few spiders.
No. In the crypt itself, the with the box and the tome.
I'll just kind of lean into Kothar and he's just,
What was in that room?
He's not talking about that goddamn stick, is he?
Just Kothar is just scratching one of the horns on his coronet. Just dead guy, few trinkets. I would assume you wanted the red box and maybe the tome at least.
We don't like to disrespect the dead.
Some of us more than others.
He looks directly at Kothar as Kothar scratches under the horns of the coronet, and then squints and shakes his head. Well, that's good, because you had found a coronet of some kind. Could have told you more about it, but since you didn't, that's very good. Very good.
I'm guessing it's a set of 3.
What is?
The coronets.
You didn't find a coronet. Clearly.
Well, as the thing that is currently on my head is a coronet, which I did not possess leaving this place, there are fairly good odds that we did find a coronet.
Oh, that! I didn't notice.
No.
No.
So my previous question is it not part of a set of 3?
Now that we are all on the same line of telling the truth to one another, yes, it is.
As Kothar is having this conversation, I hand the box to Shump to hold whilst I pull the tome out.
Okay. Please come up to my study. I shall explain everything.
Question is, do you have a brazier?
Of course I have a brazier.
While you do your explanation, I'll be borrowing that for private purposes.
Just ignore that. He doesn't mean anything by it. He likes his privacy around braziers, and he likes to borrow them in personal studies.
That is very strange. I would have guessed that it would have something to do with spellcasting, if anything. But we shall go with that.
Sexy spells.
He accepts the box and the tome. If you give both of them to him, he takes them and then leads the way up into the keep.
Yep.
And then up to the second floor and into one of the intact towers of the keep. You're led into a circular room completely lined with bookshelves, and in the middle there is a small circular table that is also covered in books. There is a small brazier almost next to the door, just kind of huddled to the side a little bit to make room in the rest of the room.
Is it small enough to be carried?
Yeah, it looks like it can be detached from the wooden pole that it's mounted on, and it would be able to be carried in your pack.
Okay.
As long as you have room for it. So, Crambo walks over to the circular table and basically, with both hands, just sweeps all of the paperwork and books to the side, to the floor next to the table, and then plants the tome and the box beside one another. And then he stands there for a moment, just admiring both of the items, before turning back to all of you. Well, where should we start? The coronet, the tome, or the box?
I've already discerned some of the information regarding the coordinates, so might as well finish that off and then the box.
Very well.
Just gonna lean on my glaive.
Sure. Very attentive looking. That is part of a set of 3 called the Crown of Arnaden, also known as the Chimera Crown. It was used by a warlord many years ago, 1,000 years ago, I believe, at least. It was split into 3 and worn by the heroes that defeated him. Each of them made a lord in their own right, but eventually each of their realms was destroyed by inner turmoil. The heroes died, the crowns went missing. I know that beneath the watchtower, the crypt that you found, it must have belonged to the wizard of the group, Pigeon Alcessan. He wore the ram crown. When combined into one, the crowns are told to possess great power, magical power that will grant boons to the wearer and allow them to even on occasion take the form of a chimera.
My question is, why were they split?
It was deemed necessary by the heroes. They did not wish for anyone else to gain the power of the combined crowns.
Where are they now?
I do not know. They were lost to time.
What would happen if one was to use one of these crowns?
I believe each crown has some magical prowess of its own. I'm not sure.
Alrighty then.
You would have to test, I suppose, since you already
I
have
guess.
one.
From what? Yeah, sure, maybe. I wouldn't wish doom upon us all. It seems like there was a reason that they were split.
Yes, there certainly was something about a creature of sorts. Perhaps the box will help us with that.
Perhaps the tome. The box. And Crambo turns to the box and then turns a little bit away from you. So his back is more to you. And then he slips one of his hands down into the collar of his robes. And he collects something from inside. Then turns back to the box, reaches for it, and suddenly the lock unlatches with a sharp ping, almost that of a harp string being played.
Yes, mighty fortuitous that you had the key for it.
He gives you a knowing look and a smile.
So what's in the box? What did we risk our lives for?
He opens the box. Inside are what looks like very finely crafted tattooing implements, as well as a flask of a glowing bluish liquid.
A mana potion.
I'm gonna assume it's some kind of magical ink.
Is it the secret dragon marks?
Do you actually say that? Or
No,
are you
my
just
character
wondering?
would know about it.
Mm-hmm. So you
They
all
are
just
well-kept secrets, aren't they?
so you are all just staring quietly, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure that qualifies as something worth risking my life for, but I'm sure someone will want to tattoo themselves, I guess.
Some needles and some blue glowy shit.
Mm.
So Crambo picks up the liquid and shakes it in the little vial and looks through it. He nods to himself more than anything else. Goes, it's still clear. Very good. This is used to... Well, this was once used to mark the loyal soldiers of Arneiden. It gave them prowess in magic, even if they were frontline soldiers. Each of them slightly different in what they did. The device is for injecting the fluid
The
or
poison.
part of the fluid into the skin, and the mark that grows from that point onward is unique to each and everyone who is granted it.
I mean,
Convenient enough.
that sounds very convenient. Would there be a price or favor or something that you could smear that on my face? I mean, these two are already magical, and I feel like it looks kind of cool. Make the room great again.
Shump, my magic has been studied very carefully for me to even attain it. At least I have worked hard for it, unlike certain someone else
I feel
who's
like
just
we were.
worshipping a frivolous... Yes, let's leave it at that.
So
I just glance at you like, I'll
It's
remember
good that
that when
Quelenna
you want
isn't there.
healing.
So Crambo takes the device from inside the box and places the little vial inside it and closes this little latch on it. And he like tries this little trigger kind of device on it, and it shifts just a little bit to expose a needle. He nods. I would request that in exchange you would make your oath of loyalty to Nightstone, but that is perhaps too much to ask. Instead,
Yes,
I would.
yes, I'm not interested anymore.
Instead, I would request that if I grant you one of these marks, you see this thing through and protect Nightstone and find out what happened to the obelisk.
That sounds like no problem at all. Totally doable.
In for a copper, in for a pound.
He'll kind of kneel, take one knee in front of him, and just put one of his kopeshes to his chest and just,
I vow to protect and serve.
but he doesn't lower his head.
Okay.
Perhaps I should go fetch our fourth companion then. I'm certain she is off pestering some of your locals for now.
She's already magical. She will
Well-
be around shortly.
Well, if you believe that she would be inclined to agree with you, then of course, fetch her.
At least the offer is made. Whether or not she makes the choice is hers.
Yes. Indeed.
I'll head out and start looking for her.
Okay. So, Shump. Crambo hesitates for a moment, thinking that maybe it's better to have everyone present when he does this, but then just like shrugs, goes, "What the hell?" And
He probably has buttons that he would like to hang on to.
and he approaches you, places the device on against your temple, on the side of your head, and then
stabs you.
you take
Well, in the manner of
you,
speaking.
you take 3d10 damage. You feel this very tiny little pinprick against your skin, and then Crambo steps back from you.
You hear him do a evil laughter as he walks back. Just kidding.
Wait.
Suddenly the tattoo thing takes the shape of something phallic.
What happened to my during contest?
Well, if you just keep staring at him, he's going to keep staring back.
Okay, so
meanwhile,
I will.
Kothar is, I guess, already moving back by the time you're getting to the brink of exhaustion. And
I'm not exhausted, but I have an
Okay.
idea of how to solve this this issue.
meanwhile, in the background, you see this 3-year-old halfling just kind of dragging a scimitar behind him across the square.
As I want to exit his place, though, as I exit, I would like to cast a fog cloud in his place, like just where I cast that gnome.
Yeah.
Exactly that point, I will cast that fog cloud,
Okay.
and I will just like kind of say, "Well, good day," as I exit the place.
Okay.
And after the fog cloud starts to, expand, I will do a minor illusion of a foghorn, kind of inside the place where the fog cloud was cast. and wait outside to just see what happens with that dwarf, whether he comes out.
Okay. So you hear the dwarf go after the foghorn has gone off. Then the creaking of the carriage and the slam of the door.
He's sealing himself with the fog.
Yeah, it appears so.
Okay. Weird ass
you
dwarf.
hear the clinking of glass bottles.
Okay. Well, I guess I won't think about them now. I kind of take another minute before I okay, well, that went as it went. And turn around to the halfling and ask him if he saw his bone. Since he's already there, I need to check with him.
I don't know how big is a fog cloud. 20-foot radius. Okay. The kid kind of looks at you, and then his like whole face is red, and his little arms are like holding on to the handle of the scimitar, just dragging it along. There's like this big groove on the ground, leading from like 20 feet away, and he like points to the origin point, and then wipes like his face from the tears and sweat, and then keeps going very slowly.
I will. Okay, I will do a light spell and touch the smitter.
Okay.
At least it will feel cool because it will have light up on it.
Which color though?
I will do it so it will be pink. Every boy wants a pink smitter.
Okay. So
Glowing pink scimitar.
So the halfling child like looks back to this sword as it lights up with pink light, and instantly drops it and is about to jump and clap at the trick when the pommel of the scimitar lands on his foot.
I say I can heal you, and I try to cast mending on him. If he has a broken bone, it will mend it.
He like stands there completely silent, and then looks at you, and you see his entire face like twitching as if he's about to let out this like massive scream.
I kind of look confused at him and then give him a hug.
You hug him, and you see, you feel his face like relax, and at the same time you hear a voice from the distance going, "Dollop! Dollop! What are you doing? Who are you? What are you doing to my dollop?"
I look back
and you see this like female halfling running towards you with a what looks like a rake.
I look at her and say, "What's wrong with you?"
Get away from my boy!
Well, I found him first.
She swings the rake over her head and lunges towards you. Kothar, this is the scene that you arrived to.
Am I very close to a building or a corner or something to lean on?
I think the trading post is like right there. So yeah.
Perfect. You know the typical stance when you stand on one leg, cross it, and then you just... I'll be watching this unfold.
Okay. Great.
Well, I don't want to harm her too much, so let's enjoy this. How far is she from me?
Probably like 60 feet.
All right, I will do a bonfire about 10 feet from me. Just create the bonfire right in front of me. Just to stop her momentum from attacking me.
Okay.
And they say, well, can't we talk about this? We can share. Eventually, we shall share this child. That I say. Until we can share, I say.
I should point out that mending does not work on living creatures.
I can always try.
You can always try.
So,
Hopefully,
Kid, what is
the halfling woman comes to a halt, but then changes direction and starts coming around the bonfire.
She's really annoying. I do another bonfire just the way she's going to come and say, come on! We need to talk about this. We can't keep going about it like this. And I kind of put a hand to guard the kid from this bad lady.
Yeah, the halfling child is like reaching out for her.
You know her?
And goes, "Mommy!"
Oh. Well, that explains a lot. I kind of look at him and pick him up and kind of try to use him as defense. Attack,
Okay.
come on.
So, with your both of your hands on the child, holding
Yep.
him towards the halfling woman, she manages to reach you and drops the rake for a moment, and then reaches out for the kid in your arms. Just give him here.
I kind of look at her and take a moment before I kind of if I really don't want to give him away, but eventually okay, fine.
She
I tell her that his smitter is there.
she takes the child and backs away instantly, hugging her son, very young
Understand
son,
why she's so
and-
scared I didn't do
and-
anything.
and then staring at you the whole time as she backs away. He just mutters, all sorts of child molesters in this town.
I'm not a
we should-
child molester. I tried to help him.
We should lock
tried
away all of
fending
you out types.
How rude. I will do a no minor illusion beside her, saying hi in Chubb's voice. And then search for anything interesting around me.
Okay. So
Anything
the
that
halfling
I can
woman
say, "Ooh,
jumps, visibly jumps, and then backs away from the gnome, and then starts running towards
Towards home.
towards their home.
Poor guy. But he forgot his smitter. I will pick up the smitter and I will bring it back to Shump when I meet him. Okay, so Kothar,
Kothar, you can see the halfling child just reaching out for the scimitar over his mother's shoulder, but she's gone.
Kothar?
Yes.
Do you say anything, or do you let me keep searching for things that I can trouble myself with?
Well, I mean, you said you were looking for things that were interesting. Kothar standing there watching you was probably mildly interesting, at least.
Do I notice him?
I would assume so, yeah.
All right, so I go up to him and I say, you won't believe what happened.
No, I believe it. There
was
are
this
orphanages
dwarf.
if you're thinking about adoption, right?
Adoption? That was my kid.
Well, I mean, there are certain legal hoops you'll have to go through to call that kid yours. First of all, you would have to kill their mother, But
No, I found him first.
when it comes to children, it's not finders keepers, sadly.
Well, I found the smitter.
If you want it, that's a bit better because it's not a living creature.
So you claim. Wait until I animate it.
Woe be upon us all.
I do a minor illusion upon the smitter to just say in Kothar's voice, "I can speak now," and then I ask, "Where are we going?"
Little loony bin.
Good choice. We got the box open. Seems inking is an option if you want to get a bit of graffiti on your skin.
Did he manage to say where the Nightstone is?
I think he's about to get to that part. If we hurry back, we might catch the tail end of that.
I tried to grab Kothar's hand and kind of hop my way back to where they are.
Kothar will avoid the hand, just like, I know where the hand's been lately.
You don't. You really don't. And actually, I'm the cleanest one. I'm using wet wipes all the time.
Mm.
So anyways,
you can't scrub away.
Anyways, I'm guessing getting back.
Yes.
Okay. Rohirden, have you gotten a mark?
Sure.
Okay. So Crambo has done the same to you after he poked Shump with the needle. And neither of you feel any different from before, aside from this little dull pain exactly where the pinprick was. Crambo has told you that it might take a while, perhaps a night's rest, perhaps several, for the mark to grow out and have an effect on you. And yeah, go on.
As he does that, I pull myself. What about this guy?
He looks at the at the creature in your hands and then back at you. No.
Aw. So
You
sad.
see a sad face on the mouse.
Very cute, but no.
I'll let him go
That's
back
called
in the beard.
animal cruelty.
I am not one for animal testing. I'm far more confident with half-orc and dwarf testing.
What about
Testing.
pigs?
No.
Damn it, the boar! I could take the boar! Damn!
I go
So,
back to leaning on my spear.
Kothar and Quelenna, you arrive to a scene of both Shump and Rohirden standing with these slightly glowing, very small dots on their left temple, each of them. Meanwhile, while waiting, Crambo has opened the tome. He did the same thing for that. There was a ping, almost like a harp string, being plucked, and the tome was opened. And he's flipping through the pages. He's about halfway through.
As I enter and see this, well, I don't know that it's actually something they wanted, but something that is glowing upon them, I would conjure myself a wet wipe and try to wipe it away. I kind of conjure it and then run towards one of them and just try to wipe it away.
I spot Quelenna running at us from the corner of my eye, and I step back. So she misses me and goes straight to Shump.
Sham!
Good. Now add a arcane mark to its forehead.
So, Shump,
Oh,
Quelenna just rushes to you and puts a wet wipe against your temple, trying to clean off the mark.
Can I be kind of in kind of respecting, what is his name?
Crambo?
Crambo. Can I kind of be in still this
Chocolate.
kneeled pose where I kind of respect him now with my head down
Sure.
and see if I can sense Quelenna coming down towards me, and then
Sure.
kind of, if she jumps towards me with a wet wipe, can I just stop it with my eyes closed? Do you want me to roll something for that?
I won't be like forcibly doing it. I mean, if someone's stopping me,
Yeah,
I won't.
it's more of a test of Shump's speed
Yeah.
and agility more than anything.
So
I
do I
guess
need to
roll contested acrobatics. Also,
Alright.
actually roll initiative. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go with acrobatics.
Quelenna, this is an
Already
honorable moment for me.
One moment.
I don't
need
need
to roll.
wipes that are wet.
You can roll,
How you
but I doubt it's gonna be better. Oh, yeah, even with a crit.
That was great. That was a great contested roll.
I know.
Both of
because
you
I have a
critted.
-1 to it, but
Oh shit! I went for acrobatics and not athletics.
oh,
Oh,
sorry, I
yeah.
actually did the
It
wrong
should have
one.
been acrobatics.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
sorry.
was acrobatics.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Okay.
Either way.
But even so, plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could have
would've been-
done it if I actually did the. No, I actually couldn't. I was one beneath you, even if I managed to do it. Oh well.
Oh well.
Couldn't clean your disgusting little blue thing on your temple.
Do I get anything from that, Mark? Like, what happens to Shump?
You're dying slowly.
Crambo told you that it would take a while for any effect to materialize.
And then it kind of got individualized to that person?
Yep.
Cool.
Kotar will just look at them and like, well, that reaction certainly was Shump-like, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Hit me up with some ink.
Yeah,
Do an
Crambo.
anchor on my forearm.
Can we get matching party tattoos?
Yes, let's commemorate our first successful dungeon delve.
Yeah.
Let's all get blue wizard hats on our shoulders.
Just to point out one thing, I am not aware of what is happening here. Like,
Yeah.
Quelenna is currently like completely
Yep.
unaware of what is happening.
Quelenna was too busy having a staring contest with a strange dwarf to so
Which stayed in a fog cloud, and I can keep my concentration for 1 hour on that.
so Crambo tears himself away from the book so he can grab the ink gun again and walks over to Kothar, and at this point it's like almost practiced precision, straight to the temple. There's a pinprick. He goes, there we go.
I will just like go, ooh, you bought me new ink?
Quelenna, you must become one of us.
I do a mending spell on him.
One of us. One of us. One
Well,
of
actually, I
Your
don't know what you're
pathetic
doing,
magics
so-
are useless. Let this end.
No, this has to have the body snatchers scream.
But
Mid-shove with
anyways,
the spear.
Quelenna won't do it unless she understands what's happening here.
Well, once Crambo's done it, I'll just... Perhaps you should explain whatever this is to Quelenna as well. And you could also fill her in on the coronet part, since she was not here.
Crambo looks at you, Kothar. You did not deign to tell her on the way.
I forgot. She was busy trying to grab my hand, and I was busy trying to dodge it.
Yeah, it was pretty rude of him.
Yeah,
While I'm
he-
like listening to this, I will kind of start touching things on anything that I can take my hand on and kind of poke at it, check it, and put
Sure.
it back in the spot.
Sure.
we might also be facing some charges about child molestation. Quelenna has had an incident.
I didn't do nothing.
Crambo
That
looks.
lady tried to snatch that boy out of my hands.
Crambo looks at the vial that has had some of the liquid drawn from it, and then just like shakes his head and looks at it as if it's he's wasted some of this very precious liquid. Then sighs and looks over to Quelenna and goes over it again. The coronet is part of 3. It was once a big crown.
I listened.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yada,
sure. My character didn't want to know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him, what will it do to me? Your strange ink.
If anything, it will add to your magic. It will provide another avenue for the use of magic.
All right, but what are you going to do with all the rest?
I'll put it in a box and then possibly take it to my grave. I don't know. I haven't decided.
That sounds
Ask us to
awfully
rescue
familiar.
that.
Hmm.
Ask us to rescue that in order to put it into your grave.
Well, if there is need of it, I will spread it around. But we do not know yet whether or not there is a threat that necessitates that. I would rather equip you as best we can and take it from there.
Ooh, do you have perhaps a diamond?
What would you do if I said yes?
Well, it's an ingredient that I lack.
Ah. Well, in that case, I shall provide you one tomorrow morning.
Thank
How
you.
big?
And I kind of look at the ink. Well, okay. Can I look around my body. Can I put it on my leg?
No, it has to be a very specific place. Or it can grow wherever I believe the possessor wishes it to grow.
Great. I have the perfect spot.
And then he just like walks to you and without any hesitation puts it to your temple. There's a pinprick. He goes, there you go.
I will do like, ow! And and then kind of look at him and couldn't you do that gently?
I see you have not inked yourself before, Quelenna.
I don't believe in inking people. I believe books can bear the ink, not people.
You'll see Kothar will just be rubbing the panther tattoo that he has from his Bladesinger, training. It doesn't actually do anything. It's more just to signify the style of Bladesinger. But there is a large panther head.
It's like a class tattoo.
Yes.
I
Very
will
classy.
just kind of look at him, blinking a few times, and then say, "My books never asked me to write anything on my forehead. But if that does anything good for you, I'm happy for you."
It's very useful because you don't always have your books with you, but this way you can write things on your face and then you can look in the mirror and it's there always.
Do you have always a mirror with you?
Yes,
I did see you any time use your mirror.
it's a secret mirror.
Crambo, meanwhile, has stepped away and returned to the tome.
All right. I will hand him a tiny bone and ask him if he knows who's that from.
That appears to be the bone of a newt.
A newt.
A newt.
What is that?
It is a small lizard.
Small amphibian.
Ah.
Well,
Think a
lizard.
gecko, but acts like a frog.
Is there anything interesting on his desk, by the way, as I come to him with the tiny bow?
On the desk is just the box and the tome. There is also
Okay.
a big mound of books that once were on the table, right beside the table in like this big heap.
The tome is open, right?
Yeah.
Can I do like a sneak check of like what I can see inside the tome?
Sure. Of course.
What do I see written there? Or if I can see anything written there.
What languages do you understand? Elven, Common, Ogre, Orcish, Draconic. Okay. So it's completely written in Draconic.
Okay. What does it say?
Interspersed with bits of arcane script.
Arcane script is what?
It's basically a kind of code, or shorthand rather, that wizards would use. Basically, spell books would be written in that kind of script, usually.
But
Um,
what does this page say or not say?
and this page appears to be completely scrambled. It doesn't make any sense.
I
Lorem ipsum dolor citamet.
yes, something like
No,
that.
not even that. It's just like random letters in random orders.
I look at Crambo and kind of raise an eyebrow and ask him, "Fancy a puzzle? I see."
It is coded.
That I see.
Yes. Must
What
find...
does it mean?
Well, I am trying to find a solution to that. Must
Maybe
find...
a mending spell can help.
Please refrain from doing that.
I have an idea.
I have seen a few of these books be mended with magic, and it has just returned it to a paper without ink.
Oh, I see. So you don't
Quelenna.
want a paper. Yes.
Your experience with tomes should say that this is not a good thing to do with potentially magic.
I actually just said that in order to keep thinking. Give it a sec. Well,
Crambo tells you as he flips over another page and then another. Just need to find words that are common, and then I can translate from there. It will take some time.
as a previously scribe, would I be aware of something the likes in my previous work? History?
Considering each cipher is probably unique, that
No,
would
not
be
the specific
directed, but you
cipher.
could probably have a means of figuring out the cipher quicker or helping him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can make a history check, and we'll see. Okay, that's very formidable.
I'm very good at
Okay.
understanding that. I was
So-
a good scribe.
Yeah, you've definitely come across coded books before. Anything from arcanely coded to just using
Regular.
just using a specific set of rules for it. This appears in part to be a combination of them. Although even you would have to study the book for quite a while to start picking it apart.
Would a... It won't help that. But what would
When
help?
you say quite a while, do you mean days, weeks, months? Years.
Probably a couple of days. With that kind of roll.
Well, if you give me a couple of days, I
and
could help
you
him.
can already hear like Crambo starting to piece together words and syllables. He's like mumbling under his breath as he goes and points at a couple of the nonsense words and then cross-references a couple of pages back and then flicks forward again. He's like starting to get the gist of it.
I ask him, what is this book supposed to be about?
I am not sure yet.
Maybe I could lend you a hand in deciphering it. I was quite a talented scribe.
If you are actually going to be serious, then I would take the help. Or
I will.
If you are going to play pranks in here, I will have you tossed out.
I will kind of go back to the book, and while I do that, I will kind of do a prestidigitation of a small pencil and put it aside, and then go back to trying to figure it out.
Okay. So the rest of you see like Quelenna and Crambo both lean over the tome and start like sinking into the code that it's written in, starting to decode it slowly but surely. It appears that they have lost like all focus from you and just like gone into the book.
Perfect. I'll make off with the brazier then and just go find a
Yeah,
solace place.
This is like classic Sierra adventure game logic. The wizard is so focused on the tome that you just like go and snatch the brazier.
Yeah, I just do it completely casually. Just.
Yeah, you click on the underneath your play screen and click on pick up and then the brazier. You waddle over and then pick it up. It is now in your inventory.
As he's doing that, I will go. I'll ask Crambo if anyone has claimed the storehouse place.
Claim the mother. What is that?
The storehouse. I'll ask if anyone's decided to take over.
The trading post?
Yes, that. And if it would be possible for us to use that as a base of operations, so in some way. Just for...
Well, we should probably talk to Lady Isadora or maybe Tuor, I guess.
Yeah, Crambo is very preoccupied right now. He doesn't seem to even notice you speaking.
I'll just walk out of the room and go look for someone else.
I will say, I will kind of, because I'm busy with the book and not listen to them, I will kind of say, not now, I'm not hungry. And keep going.
Perfect. So do the rest of you just kind of walk away?
Yep, just wander off.
Okay.
Like, not standing for days waiting on them reading.
Well, as I have a legitimate purpose, perhaps the two of you should acquire some rope.
That is actually a very good idea.
And tie yourself together?
Rope could be useful.
There is similar areas where a rope could be coming in handy.
To be honest, I have a rope, by the way.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Apparently you are the only one, so...
Yeah, so we will go fetch ourselves some rope. Maybe two, actually. Just to be safe.
Yeah. So...
I have the fancy rope. Silk rope.
You have definitely seen the trading post has rope in it. So...
Me?
And
just
you,
from history checks?
You were inside there.
Yeah, I know.
There was this thief that broke the door and got in.
Did we see on the way in if the trading posts are re-inhabited, or is it still in the derelict condition it was?
The door appears to have been fixed.
Oh, so there has
or
been
at
people there.
least put on straight, but it doesn't look like there was any activity. There's still like a sign outside that says out of business. Take what you
I have
need and write your name in the book,
I
basically.
have a
Yes,
minute.
we'll
I will
just-
just take my cat upstairs. Be
Sure.
right back.
Yes, Shump will, for one, do that. Just write
No.
a name in the book and 2 pieces of rope.
I'll ask Shump to grab me some as we're leaving, as I go look for either the guard captain or the lady.
Yep.
Kothar, you want to
To
get in on this action?
Require.
Yes. Though I will also be heading off to do the brazier thing, but ideally a silken rope because the hempen can be quite heavy for me. But if hemp is all you find, then that's fine.
So there is one silken rope and like a whole bunch of hemp coils.
I'll take like 5 hemp coils and 1 silk.
Make
And
sure
just-
that you have enough space in your inventory for that.
How much does one weigh?
10 pounds
10 pounds for one?
for hemp.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go
It's
through
50
inside the
feet though.
base.
And we didn't bother with the carrying capacity until it's maxed?
Yeah, once you max out, it's gonna start being an issue.
Yeah, I still have 132, so out of 270, so I can carry those with me. And then I will head off with those because I don't have to log them off. I'm gonna look for Lady Isadora.
Okay. So, as you're leaving the keep, you do spot the guard captain. He's standing at the gatehouse where the smithy was built into one of the buildings on the side of the gatehouse. He's basically like apparently doing some sort of accounting over the wares there. If you want to speak with him.
Yes.
Or-
I'll go speak to him.
Roherden first, at
Yeah.
least. So you want to approach him?
Yes.
Okay. He like hears you coming and turns around. He has a little ledger that he's writing in, and he like takes the pencil and places it behind his ear and turns to you. Yes. How may I help you?
Do I know his name? Like my character personally? Did I get his name?
I believe you would have come to know him as Captain Cadrithu.
Let's... Okay. Captain Cadrithu, have you heard anything about anyone inquiring about the trade post?
No, not so far. Been more of a storehouse at the moment. Why?
I was possibly considering seeing if we could acquire its use for stay here in Nightstone.
Or stay? There will be people coming and going, taking care of the what stock we have in there. I would happily give you Ostra, the Ostra family's farm. It was severely damaged, but only the kitchen, really. There is still plenty of room for beds and cots. Of course, the inn is also at your disposal.
The farm would do nicely.
Very well. It is the building just opposite from the trading post.
I will head toward asking for a key if there is one first, and then I will head towards the farmhouse.
He gives you a key, but then also says that the kitchen is like replaced by a big hole from one of the biggest boulders, so you're not gonna lock the door there, at least. But if you want the key, there you go.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Very well.
And I'll head off towards
Enjoy your stay.
the farmhouse and see if I can snatch anyone else on my way there.
Okay. I will flash you back to the Nightstone map. You can see Ostro Farm and trading post there.
Yep. I need to zoom out a little.
Anything else?
No, that's all for me, at least.
Sure. Lothar? Trump?
Kothar is beginning the incantation. He'll be doing it in... Here looks good.
Just at the
Out
bottom
in
of the bottom of the hill from the windmill?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice free open area and nice view.
Sure. So you have a great vantage point where you see Shump going into the trading post. The door looks very rickety and very hastily put on. As he opens it, it's no longer locked. Then a short while later, Roherden walks by and enters the house directly opposite from the trading post.
Well, it'll take an hour, so...
Yeah. You start seeing, I guess, Roherden, would you have caught Shump on the way?
I'll probably drop off my pack in the house and anything I don't need to be carrying, like my hammer and stuff.
Sure.
And then go to the trading post to help Shump with any supplies that we need to gather from there.
Okay. So, Shump, you have just scribbled down your name and the coils of rope that you've taken. They're heading out as Roherden walks in.
Right. Do we need anything else than a rope? Maybe something to attach the ropes or something.
We could probably do with some cooking supplies.
Sounds very good. I like a good eating.
What is in this trading post?
It is very much like common supplies for the townsfolk and nearby farms. So it's like there are a couple of extra plows, rakes, there's some kitchenware made out of what looks like cast iron, that kind of stuff, rope. There isn't that much in the way of adventuring gear.
Okay. Well, I got 5 coils of hempen rope and 1 coil of silk rope.
How many coils do we require, Roherden?
Not that many.
Probably not as much as you're carrying, but it's good that you're taking the initiative just in case.
Yes, I like to be ahead of the problem, as it were. Should we just bring 1 silken and 2 hemp then, maybe?
1 silk, 3 hemp. Got an idea for the hemp rope. At least one of them.
Then 3 hemp and 1 silk. I will just return these 2.
And he'll just put back 2 of those hempen ropes and scratch out the number and then just jot her down something else.
Okay. You correct the accounting and then...
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when you're done in the trading post, just walk out very casually. Just as like one of the guards is walking in. He like tips his helmet to you as he walks past.
Shump will touch the point on his temple back.
I'll nod to the guard.
Yeah. Everything seems to be in order in the town. It's nice and quiet. aside from there being a large, slowly dispersing cloud of fog at like in front of the stable houses. It's been enough time so the spell would have probably dissipated at this point, and the fog cloud has just kind of like dissipated. And you see this little rickety carriage there with a very stern looking dwarf looking out through the open shutters.
I have no clue what happened to that. Why there was smoke? Maybe there was fire. Who knows?
Yeah, the carriage looks fine. Looks perfectly
Yes.
fine.
Probably made some mistakes, you know.
Fried some herring. You know how much smoke comes from those. Anyone want to investigate? Or nope?
Just want to try to find Lady Isadora.
Okay. So, Shump, do you want to go back to the keep?
Yeah.
Okay. Rohedon, you want to go with? Or
No, I'm gonna take one of the ropes and rig up some sort of barricade across the hole in the farm
sure.
kitchen, and then start making some sort of food.
Yeah, it's like a very cleanly collapsed part of the house. It's like an L-shaped building, and the short end of the L has been crushed. The boulder has been already cleared out, although the rubble remains. It looks like there was a supporting wall directly at the cutoff point, and there's just an open doorway in place there. You could probably just take some boards and nail them down if you wanted to.
Or use a minor illusion.
Or that.
I'll take the boards and
Really?
probably try and snag a guard to help reach the higher points.
Sure. Okay. So, Shump, you walk south. You see Shump, after coming out of the trading post and parting ways with Rohirdan, heading back south over to keep. The gatehouse is still open, so you walk straight in, and some of the guards, having seen you before plenty of times, they just like look at you as you pass. They don't stop you or question you.
Oh, nice. How nice. Our valor precedes us.
They will
So-
kill you later.
Where are you looking for, Lady Isadora?
Where?
Yeah.
I should actually just stop with one of the guards and just ask them. So I'll just stop there at the door and...
Have you seen your mistress?
He
That can be understood in many ways.
blinks
Oh,
a
I
couple of times. Our lady is...
Yes, of course, your lady.
She is behind the keep, enjoying an afternoon picnic.
With who?
I see. Thank you very much. Which way would be the best way to get there fastest? Quickest.
Just around the keep, just follow the walls to the left.
Thank you.
And he'll just go around to keep.
Okay. So you just walk casually along these huge battlements on each side of you until you reach like the opposite side, the south side of the little ring bastion around the keep.
Is he carrying still the ropes on him?
No, I returned some of them and I still carry 2 of them.
Okay.
Those are on your pack, probably. So You make your way over. You turn around the circular tower of the keep and see that there is this red and blue cross-checkered quilt placed on the grass, and there is a little basket there, and Lady Isadora is there also with a cup with steam coming out of it. And she's looking up to the walls where some of the guards are. They look like they're going through new security measures.
Excuse me, Lady Isadora, if I may implore you.
She turns to you. She turns to you and places the cup down, and then smiles. Yes?
I don't know if you've heard this, but we have successfully carried out our duty towards you and your people. We have retrieved the tome and the box and everything that followed. Crambo is one lucky clam to have had us do his bidding, or your bidding, as it were. There was some talk of a monument of some sort that you would look into for us, if you remember, before our departure into the danger of the wildlands above these walls. Beyond, I mean, of course.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, splendid, splendid. Have you thought of a color?
I was thinking one of the largest boulders was just the perfect size to carve your entire party out of. We would paint them in many colors to reflect your true natures.
Oh yes, we are a colorful bunch. That is
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. I can't tell you how proud I am to have our greatness portrayed in your magnificent town, Lady Isadora.
Well, continue to do such a good work for us, and I will be very proud to cut the ribbon on the statue personally.
Oh yes, it's out. Before I had a choice, but now, as you can see on the mark on my temple, I have none. I have sworn my allegiance to your folk for the foreseeable future, it seems. And I'm quite glad actually to have done so, I must add.
Well, I am glad that you are so dedicated to my people and myself.
Of course. You deserve it. You and your quilt and everything around.
She stands up from the where she's been sitting and walks over to you, and she stands like at the height that she's like at your chest height, basically. So she like looks up at you and then like crooks her finger for you to come down, and you bow. Okay, she places her small slender hands on either side of your head and then kisses your forehead.
Wow. I am very grateful for your kindness, Lady Isadora. You are sure you are a worthy ruler and leader of these people. Thank you.
She looks like she's very she's having a very, very hard time keeping a straight face.
Yeah, Shump would probably be very awkward in this situation
Yeah.
because he's used to tough love.
Okay. Then she looks up at you and giggles and goes, "Was that your first kiss?"
No, of course not, Lady Isadora. I've had there has been a few
She-
on the female persuasion.
She smacks your chest and giggles and walks back to her basket. You're just so gosh dang cute.
He will kind of just straighten his back and just
Thank you, Lady Isadora. You too.
he'll turn around and he'll do like this. He'll have a little smirk on his face as he turns around and do this kind of, and just walk casually back towards the battlements.
Okay. So you leave the keep, walking out past the gatehouse. The guard captain is still standing in the little smithy, and he turns to you and just like gives you a curt nod as you pass by.
Yeah, Shump will have this different look in his face now as
Stupid
he
grin.
nods back. Yeah, very stupid grin. And also there's like this not that commercial. Damn it, this was supposed to be awesome. I kissed a girl and I liked it. It's going through his head, even though he's never heard about it.
Yeah,
And he'll just keep on
just
going back into
imagining
town.
this strange tune from another world.
Exactly.
Great. So you cross back over the bridge into the town proper. So what are you gonna do with the rest of your day? Guessing Quelenna and Crambo are going to study the book for as long as it takes.
He'll go. I guess he can see Kothar from the bridge.
Yep.
Yeah, so and Kothar is in this ritual mode, right? So he's kind of away. Shump will place himself behind him, kind of sit down, hold around his knees as he sits there and just wags back and forth. And then just smile and look at the weather. And
Wonderful weather we have today. Isn't it just awesome to be alive, Kothar?
even though he probably doesn't get a response.
He
He'll just
can't.
sit there with... No, he can't. He's gone.
Yeah.
But Trump will be sitting there, just be very happy to be alive and enjoying the rest of his day.
Yeah. So
You
Kothar.
see Kothar just maintaining the chant, trying not to be distracted, like
Yeah.
tossing pinches on the brazier and just chanting and just hear the talking.
Yeah. So eventually your ritual comes to an end. So this is summoning your Ninyak again. So from the brazier, as this little smoke rises from it, as you like drop the final ingredient into it and say the final words, the smoke suddenly billows into a little sphere above the brazier, and then from inside that sphere of smoke, you see this familiar looking billowing inside of a figure that kind of looks like a dragon doing basically somersaults inside the sphere. And then the sphere like explodes out, and from inside emerges your familiar.
Kothar is visibly... I lost the word. Overjoyed, just to see that it was possible to recover Ninyak.
And you hear this familiar but somehow slightly different voice inside your head go, is that the sun?
That is indeed the sun. It's the first time you've seen it, I suppose.
In a long time.
You are welcome to enjoy it then for a while. I feel a bit bad for scorching you by accident, and by proxy the rest of the group as well. So enjoy your day. I will be here waiting for you.
Niniak looks directly at you, and you hear the voice go inside your head. It happens more often than you think. And then it flies in the sky.
He's now visibly concerned. I'll try not to make a habit of it.
Would I be able to see them from where I am in the house farm?
I think after you fixed up the doorway with planks, you would definitely be able to see the familiar flying around. And a short while later, you see the cat that you've seen around, the cat with wings. It flies over and tries to swat at Niniak, and they start tumbling through the air.
It will kill your familiar. I'm kidding.
I do hope it's playful.
From where you are, you can't see whether they're playful or fighting, but Kothar, you don't have any sense of urgency or sense that Niniak would be in danger. Whether that's just Niniak being very confident that this fucking cat won't beat it, or or that they're playing, you're not certain. But there's no sensation of trouble.
Yeah, he'll feel that immediately, so. He'll look over to Shump and now you may speak.
Isn't love just the greatest thing, Kothar?
Look what you did too.
You should speak to him about the birds and the bees.
I hesitate to ask whom you've fallen in love with.
Oh, the love is mutual, Kothar.
Well, the question remains, with whom?
Well, she is an adorable little thing. And my feelings are confusing, for lack of a better word. But I would say I feel a purpose in life. If it is of a fatherly role or a romantic one, I don't know. But me and Lady Isadora is sure to have a future together in some way or another.
Well, I mean, she is in prime marrying age, so you...
Is she? Have she said anything, Kothar? Have you heard anything?
She is not someone I'm on speaking foot with yet.
Are you saying that she's stuck up, that she doesn't speak to people because she's adorable? She's a leader in her town. People look up to her.
Well, being a leader tends to put you in a isolated position. You should be glad that she has opened up to you.
She is not isolated at all.
There's such a thing as being amongst your people, yet standing apart from them.
No. She has to be put on a pedestal. I am wondering if I should actually ask them to change the statue into just Isadora. Lady Isadora. looking over her town.
Fuck that.
It
That
would
escalated
be
quickly.
probably.
Shit.
It would certainly help her position here in the city or town, that's for sure. Though,
It's just
how
that I can
appropriate
see her.
this is.
It's appropriate, Kothar. I could see her even if she's doing her duty to other people's. Maybe I should just ask if there's room for her too. Maybe she could stand underneath me. And we can stand together forever.
You might want to calm down a bit and consider your speed.
She kissed me, Kothar.
Yes, that is not a invitation for, well, marriage within the next minute.
In what sense is it not an invitation for marriage? I'm not
If
saying
anything,
minute
it's
and
a.
tomorrow.
If anything, it's a beginning, but you should pace yourself.
So there's a chance. There is a chance. Are you saying that
Certainly.
I actually have a chance? Oh, yes.
As I said, prime marrying age. She is a leader without a husband.
Good thing
We
the
have-
party has a paladin of Sune.
Well, if anyone knows the birds and the bees, it's Sune.
Yep.
So go to the paladin. Maybe you should learn about.
Does he know about that? Like, as Kothar is saying that there might be a chance, Shump will kind of just go back to that. He will just start rocking back and forth and just look at the sky and just smile like a little child.
After I'm finished with the repairs to the building, I'm gonna start making some sort of stew with whatever materials I can find that are edible.
Sure.
Seeing Shumping caught up in his revelry, I'll let him enjoy that. And I've seen Rohathan doing something over by that building, so I'll head over and inspect what he's doing. I didn't know what is going on with it, if he's volunteering or what.
Okay. So you come around the corner, you notice that the collapsed side of the building has been slightly cleared out more than before, and the open doorway that you used to lead directly into the home has been boarded up, leaving just the front door now as an entrance point. Roherden is just outside the door, making stew, since the kitchen was destroyed.
Hard at work, I see.
Gotta eat.
True enough. What made you get to work on this building?
Cheaper than the inn.
I'm confused.
We need somewhere to stay.
So we're staying here.
Having somewhere other than the inn would be helpful, especially if we need to plan.
Fair enough. Perhaps I shall help out a bit then, if there's anything you need help with. They're still young after all, and I don't
Minor
know how
illusions,
long
maybe?
those two will be busy with their books.
I offer Kothar a basket full of veg and other necessaries for making stew, and say, "Here, peel away."
He'll get to work, but he'll keep an eye out to the a familiar as he's working.
Sure. The familiar and the oh shit!
Cat.
I keep forgetting the actual name of the creature. Hold on. It is in this handout. It is a Tressum. Yes. The Tressum and your familiar are now like chasing one another, flying around the little carriage with the dwarf inside. And every time they fly past the open shutter, the dwarf tries to offer them the liquor. And then points at the sign. And then pulls the bottle away.
It's just like a
Paper.
mechanical, just.
Basically, yeah.
That was a very rude dwarf.
No, he's. I like him. He's very simple and nice.
You
What am I eating for dinner?
I don't know.
Knowledge.
Yeah. So you see the tavern keeper, Morak. He walks out through the main doors of the tavern and directly to the little carriage. Neither of them say anything, but the tavern keeper places 5 gold coins on the windowsill, takes the bottle offered, and then like opens the cork and instantly swigs the whole thing. And
He's really thirsty.
you see his entire body flush red, and the air around him like shimmer a little bit, as if his whole body is like heated up to the point of like the air becoming distorted. And then there's like this jet of flame that shoots out from his mouth and into the air. Then he just lets out a very
Manly burp.
a very satisfied sigh, gives the empty bottle back, and walks back into the tavern.
Impressive. It's unfortunate I'm not a man of alcohol.
Fire breathing.
I'm certain a familiar would be very overjoyed of having that temporarily, but I'll leave it for now.
Okay.
I actually just wanted it because I wanted something special.
Yep. So, you cook your stew outside the farmhouse. Eventually, Shump probably rises to his feet.
Smelling food.
Walking while jittering down notes on a parchment.
Sure. So
About his new love.
the rest of the day goes by very quietly. You eventually bunk up in the farmhouse, I'm guessing. There are still beds in there, enough for the 4 of you, and then some. Looks like the family that lived here was fairly big. Night falls, you go to sleep. You hear the guards doing their rounds outside. The whole town quiets down.
Suddenly a dragon attacks.
Yes.
And everyone dies.
But not just any kind of dragon. A vampiric lich.
Dragon. The Dracolich. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Made entirely out of potatoes.
Oh, that would be starchy.
Rohirden,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the night, at least you think so, you are suddenly aroused from your dreams by the sound of the playing of gentle harps and flutes just outside the window of the farmhouse.
Leprechaun.
You also feel a warmth in the house, and as you open your eyes, you see that it is bathed in a warm sunlight. the rest of the party isn't there. It's an empty house aside from your bed and the walls and the window.
I will sit up
Okay.
and investigate the noise outside the window.
Sure. So you get to the window, you hear the direction of the sounds shift slowly to the door. However, directly in front of you from through the window, you see a scene of floating islands in the sky. Some of them are turned sideways, and some of them are like completely upside down. Most of them have these fine, palatial, almost Greek-style buildings with large pillars on the outside. Some of the buildings have like these little rivers flowing past them, and the water courses past the edge in a straight line down in the direction where the ground is. So the ones that are like sideways, the water flows to the side, and the ones that are upside down, they float to the sky, essentially.
The way the water would make sense if
Yeah.
the gravity was flowing that way.
Yeah.
Gravity has gone wacky.
My initial thought for that would be, seems like Quelenna's been around here.
Thank you for that compliment.
I will then turn and head towards the door where I hear the sound coming from to
Okay.
investigate and open the door.
Okay. You open the door and emerge in a large hall made entirely out of white marble. In front of you is a row of large pillars that reach all the way from the floor to the ceiling, about around 65 feet above you. Between the pillars are hung these curtains, almost made out of almost sheer silken fabric. You can see partly through them to a little corridor between us, or a little space between the first set of pillars and another set of pillars with a similar set of curtains there, and then a third, and these layers kind of mask what lies beyond that.
I'll walk up straight, inspecting as I go,
Okay,
looking around.
sure. You walk towards the pillars. You do not hear the echo of your footsteps, but you continue on to the curtains, which move aside almost effortlessly, almost like they're made out of air.
Because they are.
Swish.
Yeah. You can pass without any issue to the next row, and then the next, and then the next, till you see through the curtains in front of you. You see a large, shimmering pool in front of you, with a group of figures that you can't see clearly, seated along the long edge of the pool. Two of them are playing the harp, two are playing the flute, and one is knelt in front of them, pouring something into the pool.
Poison.
Vodka.
It's
Whiskey.
basically poison in a way, but yeah.
Yeah. I will approach the figures.
Okay. You pass the final barrier of the curtains, and instantly you smell a scent of sweet, freshly
Strawberries.
sweet fresh milk combined with lavender and honey. You see the pool in front of you is completely filled with this shimmering white liquid with rose petals strewn around, and they are like flowing back and forth. The crouched figure is pouring what looks like water into the pool, and is causing little ripples to spread around. As you head towards the figures, on the opposite side from you, you see two women in these sheer white dresses, almost see-through, walk out from behind the curtains and spread open this large robe. And you notice that the women playing are wearing similar outfits.
Would I recognize the outfits?
You can make a religious check.
Religion.
Okay. So, these outfits are definitely similar to the ones that the clerics of Sune wear during your big parties.
I take a moment and look down at my own body to check what I'm wearing.
You are wearing whatever you wore to bed.
So just your PJs.
Just my standard undergarment, leathery crap.
If you wear undergarments, yeah.
Are you suggesting he's not wearing undergarments?
He is a paladin of Sune.
He is a dwarf.
Oh my god.
It's just like a big dress.
From now on, I want my own tent.
So, you examine the women and then yourself, and as you look back up, you see where the two women are holding the robe open. You see a woman rise from the pool with bright crimson hair that instantly dries as she rises from the pool and climbs onto the side. Her curly hair falls just over her knees, basically, so her back is covered, and she walks towards the two women, and they help her put on this shimmering white robe, and it is tied around her collarbone shut, leaving a large gap in front of her chest, and then tied around her waist as well. And then she finally turns around, looking like she never was in the pool at all. She's completely dry, her skin is not shimmering at all, and you notice that this is probably the most beautiful woman you have ever laid your eyes on.
I'm going to assume I recognize who this is.
You definitely have some inklings.
I should bloody well know who this is. Considering. I take to my knee, one knee, and bow my head.
Okay. So you avert your eyes?
Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly.
So...
Because sometimes he looks back just to make sure she's still there.
yeah.
There's a slight inkling of boobage, so, you know.
So you hear you hear her call out to you and ask you, "Why are you looking away?" And at the same time, she steps back into the pool, except that her foot doesn't sink into the liquid. She walks above the liquid, crossing the entire length of the pool towards you.
I raise my head and have no answer.
Okay.
So he's ignoring her.
Yeah. So, are you like silent by choice, or have you just like lost the ability to speak?
Just mind is blank.
Okay. So you see this fiery redhead walk across this pool, doing the Jesus thing of walking on water, until she reaches you and steps over the side of the pool, and now stands directly in front of you. And now that she is there, you notice that she is at least twice as tall as a normal human, although her features are definitely that of a beautiful human woman. She reaches down and places her index finger just below your chin, and pulls your eyes up to meet hers. And she gives you this loving, almost like motherly smile.
Okay.
Still silence?
Smile back. I smile back.
Okay.
I,
She laughs and looks at the women who are playing in the distance, and then back to you and says, "You are not very good at this. You speak to me all the time in prayer, but now you have suddenly lost all your words. Am I so intimidating?"
I will say to her, "No, my lady, I was lost in your beauty." That is the best I can come up with off the top of my head.
She laughs again and nods. That is a good answer. You have piqued my curiosity. I saw you take your vows. You're a paladin of mine. Yet you have chosen the path of vengeance.
Yes. I nod and say, "Yes, my lady." I have no reasoning other than outside of stuff for that.
Well, this is your cue to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She smiles and like crouches down, so she's like as close to eye level with you as she possibly could without like getting on all fours or anything. And she's essentially like crouching in front of you in the way that a parent would with their child when explaining something very deep and involved. And she pulls her hand away from your face for a moment and goes, "Well, do you know what that means for you?"
No, I do not.
You know that my followers are meant to bring love together. Yes?
Yes.
You know the codes and words that you must have learned and spoken hundreds of times before.
Yes. That one, yeah.
But there is more to love than simply bringing people together. There is also people who find connections or are forced into connections without love. There are people who marry out of being forced into relationships. There are people who marry for power. Those who kill for love. You have chosen the path of vengeance, and so you are my hand in bringing these people who would abhor love so much as to dismiss it completely to heal.
I nod.
Okay. When was the last time you were with others?
In what sense?
When was
It's sooner.
the last time you were with other followers and observed the rites?
How long have we been traveling?
Since you left on your first quest to bring the nobleman here, it's probably been a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Say about a month or two, given travel, depending on if there was a Temple of Sune from where we left.
Okay. So a month or so.
Yes.
Okay. Um, the redhead in front of you lowers her gaze to your current outfit. Just kind of shakes her head a little bit. You should, if you are unable to join others in worship, you should at least take care of yourself. I know
Bathed
you
in the
are a
blood of
dwarf,
virgins.
but your beard, your clothes, your whole being must be that of love for others and yourself.
I reach up and rub the singed part of my face. The singed beard. Yes. Something unforeseen occurred there.
Things. These events that you are traveling through at the moment are events of great importance. Whether you realize now or not, there will be a lot of death in the future. You must be my hand in this. You must be my voice in this. And protect the realm. And protect my people. All living beings.
I respond with, as you wish, and ask, what would you like me to do?
Do
Beyond that. Beyond what she's just said, of
Yeah,
course.
she places her large hand directly over your chest where your heart is, says, "Follow your heart. There lies the truth. But if you wish guidance, if you seek someone who understands, then I have something for you." And she pulls back her hand and then motions for the woman who has been pouring water from this little pitcher into the pool this whole time. It's been a steady stream, a steady stream of water, like from, and she like lets go of the pitcher and it stays there with this water still streaming down out of it. And she stands up and walks all the way around the pool until she's standing right next to you, standing as tall as a human would. She's another redhead, not quite as fiery red as Sune here, but she's also like very good looking. And Sune turns to her and gives her a nod. And this woman reaches up and unties the rope holding her gown together and lets the sheer cloth fall over her shoulders and down her body. And as her body is revealed, she slowly morphs into this glowing light. And then as the light dims, you see that the gown is on the side of the pool, bundled up, and in her place stands a creature with a stag's body, except that in favor of fur there are golden scales, with a red mane and a somewhat horse-like face. And from the forehead of the creature there is this horn that is like two horns entwined together, forming these small heart-shaped holes in between. And your goddess turns back to you and smiles. She will guide you. She will carry you through the hardest times, and she will always return to you when you need her.
Unless you're dead.
Unless I somehow magically die to a fireball.
Unexpected fire.
I think from now on I'm expecting fire with this group.
Nah, I don't have a fire spell.
Bonfire?
It's not exactly fire, it's more wood than fire, really.
I thank Sune. And make a small note in my head to maybe mention the floating jug to Quelenna.
Thank you.
Pretty sure thinking she probably had something to do with that.
Okay.
I'm everywhere today.
So this creature that just formed out of this light moves closer to you and like places its head on your shoulder and nuzzles you with its face. And
as it does that, I'll reach up and stroke the face
okay.
with one hand, and the other hand I'm assuming I'll still think the mouse is there.
Yeah. And as
Try to find the
you
mouse.
like reach out to pet the head of this creature nuzzling against you. You wake up in bed with your little rat
Fiancé.
there nuzzling against your face, and you're petting it. It's soft fur. Everything is dark around you, but you can see Kothar and Shump sleeping in their beds. There's darkness outside, aside from what can be seen in moonlight. And suddenly all of that is like a hazy dream. Like one of those interrupted dreams, where you kind of remember it, but you're not quite sure.
All those details I was meaning to take note of just gone.
Basically.
I keep thinking for the rest of the night, I'm sure there's something I wanted to tell Quelenna. Oh well.
You probably wouldn't see Kothar sleeping in a bed, though. He'll, being a high elf and a soldier, he's sitting, meditating and sitting up against the wall with his sword across his lap, as a soldier would.
Probably near the door.
Yes, and Shump is mumbling something about love.
He has written a poem now.
I see Quelenna lying there like...
No, I'm not there. I'm not there. Remember, I'm studying.
Oh, yeah. Crambo and Quelenna have like collapsed from need of sleep for like 2 hours and then woken up again just to go over the book some more.
Anything interesting so far?
I
mean the ID, not the whole thing. Like, what is the topic at least that we're getting?
So far, what you have been able to scrunch together from words you've deciphered, a lot of the pages are concerning a kind of warding magic to seal something inside a powerful magical artifact.
Bum, bum, bum. I have an idea, but okay, I will keep studying.
Great. And I think actually this is the perfect place to end this session. It's a little early, but
without telling us the
secret,
so hard.
The secret of the book. Exactly.
Yes.
This is the perfect time.
Well,
you get your marks of service?
Well, I was actually going to ask if morning fully comes, or if there's more going to happen the night.
Yes, morning comes without any other events.
Yeah, I'll just do regular maintenance then, such as spells and stuff like that.
Yep. You have.
I'll go around, do my usual thing of preparing breakfast of some sort for Jump and Kothar, and I'll take some bread up to the other pair that think they should be reading.
Kothar will be making sure to catch the sunrise with his familiar.
Sure.
I don't know how much the familiar knows about Lathander, but
which one is which one do I have?
You get to pick.
I pick. Okay.
Yes. You get to pick freely from the table.
How many?
Yeah,
Sorry?
these are. It's one.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
One
you
more.
pick one. It uses the ability in the ability column, and you get the least benefit.
And lesser.
So the first column of them. Are you at 5th level now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So then you take that as well.
What?
Yeah.
The lesser two?
Yes.
At least I'm
Dragon
lesser.
Marks is a tattoo of magic power that scales with at first, 5th, and 9th level. So if you read the text above, it's once per day.
Yes.
Yes. So you get the
Yes.
spells listed.
It is a kind of innate spell casting,
Yep.
Okay.
so it doesn't require spell slots or anything like that. It's just
One time a day.
One time thing.
How do I mark it?
Once per long rest.
Oh well.
It'll
Alright,
technically
yes.
just be actual spells, and then you just
Yeah.
add
Yeah,
it
though
on.
it doesn't take a spell slot.
You could add it under feat or trait.
I must ask, what is Unseen Servant?
Unseen Servant is basically a invisible
Construct. Sorry.
construct that like does your bidding. It can haul stuff and things like that.
And Friends?
You can
that's basically the same thing,
search all
friends
of
and-
these in
They are regular
think so.
spells, so they're in the book.
yeah, and they are
Cool.
in the compendium as well, I think.
I'm actually about to pull the book up and look at these spells. So.
Most of them are. Friends is it's a charm kinda, though it's not a like mind control type. It's like they're more friendly disposition towards you by if you make like reasonable suggestions.
Also, Obsid, you now have a mount in the character's
Yes.
tab, which you can rename into anything.
And no bestiality.
Yes.
When I cast this innate ability, do I need the component?
When you cast an innate spell, no. You cast without requiring material components.
But
Would
it
they
is
give me the
cost
diamond?
You
Hmm?
will receive it
Crambo,
later in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, you'll get it in the morning.
Okay, can I already write it so I won't forget?
Yeah, you
Because-
can write it down.
Okay. So it will be a diamond to be worth enough for the thingy, for the spell?
Yeah, whatever
What is
that is.
For a chromatic orb. 50 gold, yeah.
Any questions regarding the spells you want to glance at, or do you want to just read the book?
What, me?
No, all of you for the marks.
I think I'm gonna go with the hospitality thing. Liamon's tiny hut sounds kind of
Oh, yeah.
cool.
I have it. By the way, just to be clear, I have it.
You have
No,
that?
it costs a lot. No, it costs a lot, so you might want to take it anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
one
Friends, Unseen Servant, rope trick. It sounds.
I have
something-
rope trick. I've been looking for an excuse to use it. It's kind of weird, kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of fits something Quelenna would rather do. It's basically you touch a rope, it starts going up, and then just
Oh.
kind of enters into nothingness, and that's a invisible bubble pocket plane that you can just climb up into and hide in for an hour.
I wanted to ask Theo.
Yes.
In Leoman's tiny hut, I need a small crystal bead. Do I actually need to buy it?
Does it have a
Value? No.
value?
No value, but it just says that.
No, you will be able to find one somewhere along the way.
Alright.
You can,
Alright.
I don't
just
think
need
it actually consumes
I don't
the
I don't
bead here.
consume it. No, I don't
No.
consume it.
In general, I won't question where you got stuff if it doesn't have a value marked next to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, just to make sure.
So I'm gonna consider all of those like stuff you can get somewhere
Yep.
along the way.
Alright.
Any other questions, comments?
Maybe 1 second. Let me just check something. No, I think.
Not a question or comment, but I have dropped the empty warded gas canister in the house. I'll keep it in my inventory with a mark on it. Just so that
Okay.
it's done and said.
I think I will take the warding one. If anyone is like thinking about what to take.
I'm going for the hospitality because it kind of goes with my character and also charisma.
Yep, I'm taking passage.
I have no idea what I'm taking, but I'll see.
There's always healing.
Yeah, extra healing. And not
Yep.
just healing, but reviving and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Spare
Actually,
the dying and
When in
shit.
doubt.
when in doubt, more healing.
But you
Actually, yeah,
you pick whatever
healing's-
you feel like is interesting to you.
I was eyeing healing and hospitality mostly. I was looking at the charisma ones. Because
Yeah,
of
though
the
you can
ability.
always. A lot of them don't really care about your stats as much. Like alarm and resistance, it's intelligence based, but intelligence does not factor in at all in any way, shape, or form. There's no saving throw involved, so the stat isn't called upon. Most of these don't have that, so I wouldn't worry too hard if your stat is super low in it. Though, of course, for healing, it probably makes sense to go for something you have a high stat in.
I already have cure wounds as well.
Yeah, but this is 1 extra cure wounds per day for free.
Fine, I'll go with healing.
You don't have to. It's your
No,
choice.
it actually seems like a good idea to go with healing, considering our tendency to stumble into things and
I hope
be
you're
almost getting brained.
I hope you're all enjoying how I'm spoiling all of you.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
it was quite enjoyable, especially that divine session. Stunned
lovely.
both in character and out of character.
Yep.
But this is kind of like when you find all those health potions just before boss fight. And there's a save point just
know
outside
what
the door.
you mean. What could you ever mean?
It's so
Exactly.
weird. Why are there so many health potions here? And why is there a save point in this very large open arena with lots of things? And why did this music suddenly turn very intense?
Look, a bonfire just in front of a fog door.
Hang on,
Yeah.
that seems like a really weird place to put a rather large stack of arrow quivers filled with arrows.
Well, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the big fight.
Wait,
Nope.
3 anvils?
Why would it?
Exactly. I mean, come on.
Next time
You
on
would
Banter
tell us
Roll.
if there's something bad coming.
That moment when you forget an entire species of creature exists until you play D&D.
All right. Adding this-
Opposite, did you take a look at your mount?
Yes, that's what I was on about.
Yep. It
Completely
is.
forgot they exist.
Yes, it is basically a buffed warhorse for you, but with a lot more cool looking stuff splattered on top of it. It is not an actual Kirin.
Yep. I kind of gathered that since,
Yeah, I would not give you a mount that is challenge rating 12. So
not only that, but the
I mean-
actual creature can fly.
yes,
Sounds like we would need it.
Hey, what's the challenge rating of Tarask?
30?
it is increasing with every word mentioned. Mention a Tarask and eventually one will hear you.
Yeah,
a
so
question.
about 16 by now then.
Here's a question.
Hmm.
Alarm. It's a casting time of 1 minute, though it's an innate ability. Would it be still a 1 minute casting?
Yes, time isn't the time isn't affected. It's just that you don't need material components.
All right.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure.
These skills will be under traits or class features, even.
How you write it, it's up to you really. You might want to input the spell into the spell book though, so you
Yes.
can link
And
it.
remember that you can also go to the compendium tab and just drag and drop.
Yep, that is my plan.
Just make sure to make sure it all looks kosher afterwards. With
Interesting wording.
Yeah.
And I will think of a name for the mount.
Okay.
So once a day, each ability. Okay.
Yep. Once a long rest, which translates instantly to once a long rest.
Yep.
Unless you somehow manage to miss a long rest.
What do you mean? Well,
I wonder if you
probably
managed that.
Well, I am busy with important stuff, unlike you all.
Hey, I'm dreaming of sexy redheads and women turning into
Yes,
right
very
Me too.
monsters.
Chump is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Except his is a bit
Well-
younger.
Yeah, that's like
Wait a bit.
it's like on the borderline of getting us blacklisted on certain agency
Entrance.
lists, I'm sure.
Yep.
Just,
Well, we're probably on the list, that's for sure. A list somewhere.
we're A-list celebrities now. That was bad. Okay, I'm closing off the stream so you can
Yeah.
figure out your
Bye bye,
spell stuff.
stream.
See you next time.
In 1 week.
Okay. That was certainly a session. We'll be back coming next Monday. Oh Jesus, it's difficult to speak while everyone is speaking into my ear still. Put on some music. Yeah, we'll be back Monday. Thanks everyone for coming by. It was really fun. We'll notify you on Twitter or something like that if we have to cancel or change plans, but should be fine. Good night, everybody.